under three endowments. One from the Kuppuswamy Sastri Research Institute, two from the Sanskrit Academy. Lecture will be rendered by Dr. R. Muthulakshmi, who is holding the V. Madhavan chair at the Kuppuswamy Sastri Research Institute. She will be talking to us on VIMＡNAS in the VＡLMīKI RAMAYANA. Regarding the endowments, first Sri B. Madhavan. This comes under B. Madhavan's lecture series. As far as we at the Kuppuswamy Sastri Research Institute are concerned, we can never forget Sri B. Madhavan, who was secretary here for many years, who was a gentleman to the core, a very good or a very perfect human being, who not only held a very high position in the railways, he was additional general manager. He's a very good scholar of Sanskrit, especially of VALMīKI RAMAYANA, Bhagavata Purana, and many other things. And he was also an authority on Shakespeare. He used to quote profusely from all these things. And even though he held such a very high position in the government as well as here, he was looking after all the institutions here. He made it a point to attend all the family functions, auspicious or inauspicious, in all the staff, which generally people don't do. Whether it was a death or whether it was naming ceremony or the marriage or whatever it is, he will definitely go without minding any distance. And when the institute came out of the Government of India scheme, he was the one who protected us under his wings. So we were all looking at him as our father. And he made it a point never to disappoint us, somehow from his own personal money, or he pulled money from somewhere to give us monthly salary. Those when it was very difficult period. And he was never shy of asking people for donation, but he never asked all and sundry. He never went to some people, though those people held a very good position. He said, no, we need not their support, we need not have their support, we don't have their money, we will not have their money. And we have told him to approach Kanchi Periva. He said, no, sannyasis have to be patronized by grihasthas. We should not go and ask them. We said, why not we ask MS Amma to come and perform one program for us? He said, no, because the artists have to be patronized by us. We should not go and seek money. So, such a lofty thoughts. And he never confused his role with whether it is Savitri Ammal school or this school or that school. And he was the first one to come for all the functions, all the lectures. Not only that, he would be standing in the entrance to receive everybody with a smiling face, with folded hands. And when he passed away in 2014, just before, few days before, he called all of us to his house. He was lying. He offered us a very good tea and told us, I will not live for long. I will be leaving soon, but you carry on the work. And he told us, Dr. KSRI will take care of you. We can't forget those days. And he was very proud of us. He was very proud that of the staff of the institute, that they would do their work sincerely, without selfishness. And when he passed away, he expressed his idea after going through the book of Dictionary of Ancient Geography by one Western scholar. He said, we should expand this book, we can publish that. That was his idea. Then we had our geography professor, Professor Parsarthi. He was interested with that work. Unfortunately for us, after his sad demise, his son, Sri Anand, who is happily with us today, he created an endowment or chair in the name of his revered father. And we appointed Professor Parsarthi. He was methodically, assiduously, with so much of dedication, collecting the details of so many places, rivers, mountains, whatnot, of every place, nook and corner in India, with source from ancient texts. But this could not be finished within 3 years at that time. And then we had a rare opportunity from the Central Sanskrit University, who sanctioned us many projects under IKS, Indian Knowledge System. And we included this in that. And when we presented this, they were very happy. The next time, Professor Parsarthi himself went to Delhi and explained to them about this project. They were indeed happy. And sir, the book will come out soon. It will be a very mammoth book, I can tell you. Huge size, 750 plus pages, with all the information that we can find only in this book, not in any other book. This will reflect the ancient civilization in its plurality, about so many tribes, languages, rivers, animals, that is flora and fauna, mountains, pilgrim centers, cities, towns, villages, name it. All the details were collected and now they are being arranged in a systematic order, all because of Sri Madhavan. And this book will be definitely dedicated to him. And this year, being the centenary year of Sri B. Madhavan, he was born in the year, now we are in 2026, so he was in 1926. So we would offer this book to him respectfully. And Dr. Janaki, I think many of you might be knowing her, she was a director here for a long time. Whenever there was a reference to be checked in VＡLMީKI RAMAYANA, she would tell me many times, see, B. Madhavan used to come here in the morning as well as in the afternoon. Daily he will come here. He would come here unto the college. Spend a lot of time with us. So she would say, don't strain yourself. When Madhavan sir comes, ask him. He will tell. Whether it is Bhagavatam or Ramayana, you would ask him, he will say, no, it is in the 4th chapter, in the Bhagavata. It is here like that. So he had such a command over these things. And after the tenure of Professor Parsarthi was over, we requested MUTHULAKSHMI Madam to take up this project along with Professor Parsarthi as a co-investigator. And Dr. MUTHULAKSHMI, we still remember along with three of her friends, Dr. Basmati, Dr. Subhadra, who is unfortunately not with us today, she has passed away, and Raji Madam, they all came, they were studying for MA in Tirupati Sanskrit University under the great Seshadrinatha Sastri. And after they received their degree, postgraduate degree, he told them to go to Kupuswami Sastri Research Institute and pursue their PhD. So 4 of them came here, and then we asked them to write the entrance examination, and then they joined here. So Dr. Muthulakshmi had some other topic, and then I had a pet topic which Dr. Janaki was very happy with. That was on the yogic elements in Pancha Mahakavyas. So rare we can find a person who has read all the 5 kavyas, Mahakavyas in Sanskrit, and Dr. Muthulakshmi is one such person who has read all the 5 Mahakavyas with commentary. Mallinatha's commentary, Narayana's commentary, then Arunagirinatha's commentary, whatnot. And it is very difficult to find such a dedicated person. Very hardworking, very dedicated, indefatigable spirit means Dr. Muthulakshmi. And her thesis was very highly appreciated by scholars from outside, and her book was also published by Parimal Publications in New Delhi, and it was also well received. Even now many people are buying it. You will find so much of information about many aspects of yoga scattered in Kalidasa's works, in Naishadam, in Bharavi's work and Maga's work. Very minute details, which made even Professor Seshadrinath Sastri proud that she could cull out so much of information. We are all proud of you, madam. We are happy that you continue to be associated with us. Later on, when the Indica from Hyderabad offered us to hold one chair in the name of one donor called Mr. D.P. Santanam, they wanted us to take up the work of any unpublished manuscript. I had one unpublished manuscript called Hatha Sanketa Chandrika, one of the, or not one of the most voluminous text in yoga, especially Hatha Yoga. Very rare manuscript. At that time only one manuscript was available for me at GOML, that is Government Oriental Manuscript Library in Madras. I had a copy of it. And then she agreed to take up that work. So she was appointed as D.P. Santanam chair there. And the 2 scholars of the KSRI were appointed as assistants to her. And they were asked to do some other yoga text, for which Indica was providing financial assistance for 3 years. In the meanwhile, we gathered many manuscripts of the same text. 2 from Banaras, 1 from Jodhpur, and 1 from Calcutta, which is very difficult to read. But Dr. Muthulakshmi was very patient to go through all the manuscripts. First both of us read together, then she took other manuscripts, collated them. She has made a critical edition, which nobody has even ventured in the world. For the first time this will be coming out. So I think KSRI will be publishing it, and after we complete these projects, I think both of us will sit together, and it's a dream project for me. We will publish that Hatha Sanketa Chandrika, which is indeed a mammoth text, and maybe some other text. In the meanwhile, we had other project on yoga sanctioned by some philanthropist. So we took upon another manuscript called Yoga Sangraha, which is in manuscript, because there are many texts under this name. And we got some manuscripts, and I requested her to work upon it. So both of us sat together. She did all the work. Collated manuscripts from Pondicherry and from Kerala and Chennai, and we brought out a wonderful critical edition which is being purchased by many people now because it's a rare text in yoga. With English translation and Roman transliteration we had published. So Muthulakshmi madam is she used to tell me in the class, whenever daily we used to meet, you are younger to me. I said, I am younger to you in all the respects, madam. Of course I am younger. So we would like to bring more books. She has recently translated another rare yoga manuscript. So we would be publishing it also. And we would be doing more texts in the future. Why I am mentioning all these things is, see, Madhavan sir is such a great scholar and a humble human being, though he held a very high position. I think he will be very happy when the book comes out. He will be blessing us from above. And the other two endowments are from Sanskrit Academy. One is Right Honorable V.S. Srinivasa Sastri, about whom I think most of you might be knowing. You can see his portrait here. He was the first president of our research institute called Silver-Tongued Orator, Vice Chancellor of Annamalai University, a very close friend of Kuppuswamy Sastri himself in the 40s, in the 30s, and he held this position. And the other one is under the name of SATHYAMURTHY. Who has not heard his name? A very well-known freedom fighter, who was a very good Sanskrit scholar, who has come here very often. So under these two endowments which were instituted by their family members at the Sanskrit Academy, the lectures have been arranged. All the three were very much attracted by VALMīKI RAMAYANA, and they were all stalwarts in each of their fields and very good scholars of Ramayana. So Dr. Muthulakshmi has taken up a very good topic today in the VALMīKI RAMAYANA. She has presented papers in many places also. One paper I remember was Chemical Weapons in Sanskrit Literature, which she presented in Kanchipuram. And another old man, Dr. Gopalan, who did PhD here, he commented there because the Defense Secretary had come for the meeting. He said, Madam can be appointed as Defense Secretary or advisor to the Defense Ministry because she is talking of chemical weapons. So she wants to probe into many unknown things, and she will immediately go to the source book till she finds an answer. She does not take rest. We are indeed happy that she is among with us today. We thank the endowment makers, and now, sorry for taking so much of time, because we be Madhavan centenary here. So I think I thought I should share some views about him. And Dr. Muthulakshmi, though she is one among us, she is a rare person. So I have taken more time. Thank you for your passion in listening. Now I leave the mic to Dr. Muthulakshmi. Thank you. Please switch off your mobiles or put them in silent.
அதான் கொஞ்சம் Can you hear? First of all, I thank the Right Honorable E.S. Srinivasa Sastri and Sri S. Sathyamurthy Memorial Endowment Makers, KSRI and Sanskrit Academy for giving me this rare opportunity to deliver a lecture in this very interesting topic. I am grateful to Mr. K. Gopalakrishnan, former Director of Geological Survey of India, for his articles where he has discussed several truths related to science and geography embedded in VALMÍKI RAMAYANA. I have been given the opportunity to edit all these articles under Mr. Madhavan chair. While going through the articles, I found an article highlighting on various types of Vimanas, very interesting. It is well known that the ancient Indian scriptures like VALMÍKI RAMAYANA are embedded with many scientific facts from different disciplines. A recent analysis brings forth the possibility of the knowledge of ancient Indians in space technology and space flights as depicted in VALMÍKI RAMAYANA. In this lecture today, let us do some analysis about Vimanas like Pushpaka used by various persons in various occasions. I am going to deal with a couple of Pushpaka Vimanas, and I am going to concentrate on Hanuman's flight from Mahendragiri to Lanka. It is very interesting. Now, the origin of the term Vimana, according to Amarakosha, Vikatam Manam Upama Yasasaha Sa Vimanaha Devarataha Vyāmayanam, etc. It refers to a unique vehicle that travels in the space. According to Shabda Sahara, it refers to a chariot of Devas, sometimes serving as a seat or throne, and sometimes carrying them through the skies, self-directed and self-moving. A Vimana was a flying palace of 7 stories high or chariot, carrying its occupant through the air, which was controlled by the mind. Please note the word by the mind. I am going to deal with it later. In modern days, Vimana means aeroplane. The origin of the term aeroplane. A flat or level surface, in geometrically, a surface generated by a straight line moving at a constant velocity with respect to a fixed point. In fine arts, it is an area of 2-dimensional surface having determinate extension and spatial direction or position. When an aeroplane moves, there is a plane of air that moves below the wings, allowing for lift. If the wings are considered to be the line, it can be seen how the definition to the geometrical definition aptly describes what is happening. Now, types of Vimanas mentioned in VALMÍKI RAMAYANA. Sumantra notices rooms similar to divine cars when he enters Rama's palace. Bharata was referring to palaces similar to celestial cars or flying chariots. Flying chariot used by Ravana to abduct Sita. Hanuman, upon entering Ravana's palace in Lanka for the first time, sees Pushpaka Vimana. Valmiki mentions about Vimanas taking the dead to heaven. Sampati mentions about Vimanas that would fly in different layers of atmosphere. There is a mention about Vimanas used by Indrajit, which would fly at great speed emitting smoke. Vanaras flew individually in their flying missions. Ravana's army flew in bunches of Vimanas. Vimana used by Rama to travel to Ayodhya with Sita, Lakshmana and other Vanaras. These are all the Vimanas, the terms at least used by Valmiki. Now, Ravana's flight in flying chariot from Lanka to Panchavati and back to Lanka after abducting Sita. That we are going to concentrate now. a flying chariot which was yoked to mules, which made horrible huge noise and which was made of gold, was used by Ravana to abduct Sita from middle of forest. It landed and took off without any landing strip. Sacha maya mayo divyaha karayukta karasvanaha pratyadrishyata hemango ravanasya maharataha. There is one more probable outer space flight described in Ramayana, where Sugriva was directing the Vanaras in search of Sita with specific geographical locations and their characteristics. Sugriva describes to Rama as to how he acquired so much of geographical knowledge of the whole of the earth. He was running away from the wrath of Vali to escape death to different places of the globe towards north, south, west and east of Kishkinda. VALMÍKI, through the words of Sugriva, mentions some very interesting facts. Sugriva informed Rama that the earth was seen by him as a shining glass-like rotating wheel having the shape of the hoof of a cow. Adashatala sankasha tato vai prithvi maya alata chakra pradima drishta goshpadavattada. Such vivid description of the rotating earth on its own axis can come only from a space view. Also note that VALMÍKI describes the earth as a globe rotating like a wheel over 7,000 or 9,000 years ago, when such scientific facts are unknown to mankind in other parts of the world. Such is the greatness of ancient Indians. In the Ramayana, there is another story of high flight. Sampati, the brother of Jadayu, once tried to fly very high to reach the sun. During the initial period of low-level flight, the cities in the earth were seen like wheels of chariot. Ratha chakra pramanani nagarani pritak pritak. Later, when they flew very high above the sky and reached the path of sun, the forests were seen like grasslands. Turnam utpatya chakasham aditya padasmastito avam alokayas tadvanam shadvala samstitam. The earth with large and high mountains was looked like a land covered by small stones, while the earth itself with many rivers is seen as rolled with threads. Upalairiva sanchanna drishyate bhushilochaihi apagabit samvita srutrairiva vasundara. High mountains like Himalayas, Vindhya and Meru in the earth looked like elephants in a pond. Himavamshaiva Vindhyascha Meruscha Sumahan Nagaha Bhutale Samprakashante Naga Iva Jalashaye. The description of the initial low-level flight and the specific mention of having reached the path of the sun clearly indicate a space flight. Thus, Ramayana is sometimes seen as one of the early texts suggesting that the earth is round, spheroid, rather than flat. Pushpaka Vimana. We all know we have heard about it. Now we are going to have the description of that. As found in Ravana's palace in stationary mode. In the Ramayana, especially in the Sundarakanda and Yuddhakandas, the Pushpaka Vimana is described as very large and magnificent. Because of its size and grandeur, some compare it to a modern jumbo jet. Hanuman, upon entering Ravana's palace in Lanka for the first time, sees Pushpaka Vimana and feels this palace is as big as an aerial car. Nari pravekariva deepyamanam tadidvirambodavattarchyamanam hamsa pravekairiva vakyamanam sriyayutam ke sukrutam vimanam. The aerial car called Pushpaka, shone with the rays of precious stones and capable of traveling long distances. Pushpakhvayam nama virajamanam ratnaprabhabicha vivardhamanam veshmottamanam apichochamanam mahakapitatra mahavimanam. Hanuman saw the Vimana kept in the middle of the mansion, embedded with gems and diamonds, decked with windows of molten gold. Sathyamadhye bhavanasya samstitam mahadvimanam manivajraja chitritam pratapta jambunada jala kritrimam dadarsha veera pavanatmajakapihi. The beauty of this Vimana, designed by Vishwakarma with intricate design images, is indescribable. It was placed in the aerial path and it appeared as a guiding light in the orbit of the sun. Tadaprameya pratikara kritimam tam swayam sadviti vishwakarmana divam gadam vayu pada pratishtitam vyarajata aditya patasya lakshmavat. It could go to any place easily. Its master commanded. It had many beautiful places of rest. Tapassamadana parakramarjitam manassamadana vicharacharinam aneka samsthana visesha nirmitam tatastulya visesha darshanam. In the Ramayana, Pushpaka is described as specially uniquely designed. It had many colorful peaks and beautiful decorations. It was pleasing to mind and shone brightly like the full moon in autumn. I am skipping some of the verses. Due to lack of time, I have to concentrate on Hanuman's flight. So I am going fast. In the Ramayana, the vehicle is described as being carried by many bhutas. They had large faces shining with earrings, big and frightening rolling eyes and great speed. They were powerful beings who moved through the sky and were known for their great appetite. Vakantiyam kundala chobitananaha mahashana vyomachara nishacharaha vivritta vidvasta vishala lochanaha mahajava bhutaganaha sagasrashaha. Here, Valmiki's description matches with modern day pilots wearing goggles around their eyes. In the center of Ravana's palace, Hanuman saw a Pushpaka Vimana, which was yet another huge construction, well furnished with innumerable carvings and paintings. Hanuman ascended the Vimana, containing figures of deer made of gold and adorned with slender pillars of dazzling splendors. Iga mrigas samayuktaihi kartasvara vibhushitaihi sukridaiha chitam stambaihi pradiptamiva sriya. It was furnished with private rooms and gleaming pavilions resembling the Meru and Mandara mountains, touching the skies and glowing like sun. The Vimana had many golden stairways and marvelous platform. It contained balconies, galleries of deep blue sapphire and other precious stones. The floors were covered with rare pearls, which rendered it strikingly beautiful. Built of red sandalwood and shining like pure gold, the platform resembled the rising sun, and subtle perfumes rose therefrom. The journey in which Rama returns from Lanka to Ayodhya. The journey is described in Yuddhakanda. He also mentions different layers of atmosphere in which different sizes of Vimanas could fly. When Rama expressed his desire to return to Ayodhya quickly, Vibhishana says, with this Pushpaka Vimana, Ayodhya can be reached just in one day. Annatvam prapayishyami. Wait, Annatvam prapayishyami tam purim parthivatmaja. Here are some excerpts from the text that describe how Pushpaka Vimana conducted Rama and his army of monkey chiefs from Lanka to Ayodhya. Pushpaka shines like sun, which the powerful Ravana forcibly took from Kubera. Pushpakam nama badram te vimanam surya sannibam mama bratu kuberasya ravanena akhritam balat. The celestial chariot, going everywhere at will, was at Rama's disposal. That car, which would transport him to Ayodhya in perfect safety. Hritam nirjitya sangrame kamagam divyamuttamam twadarte palitam cha etat, continues. Rama ascended the chariot holding Sita and accompanied by his brother Lakshmana. Thereupon Sugriva with the monkeys and Vibhishana with the counselors took their places in the celestial Pushpaka chariot, and all being installed, the aerial car belonging to Kubera rose into the air under Raghava's command. It carried Rama, Sita, Lakshmana along with the entire Vanara army, so it must be of great dimension. Tat Pushpakam Divyam Sugriva Sakasenaya Adhyarohat Teshu Arudeshu Sarveshu Kauberam Paramasanam Raghavenabhyanugnatam Utpapata Vihayasam. In the Ramayana, a bright aerial chariot drawn by swans is described. Rama shines with joy in that chariot and looks like Kubera. All the monkeys, bears and other beings sit comfortably inside the celestial vehicle. Under Rama's command, the swan-drawn flying chariot moves through the sky with a loud noise. Throughout the journey, Rama looked out of the windows of the Vimana and described to Sita all the places that he had roamed when looking for her until the great battle with Ravana in Sri Lanka. The spacious Vimana, which was gilded and shone like the sun, was dome-shaped or conical. It was operated by the power of the will or by voice instruction and moved through the air. Ancient Indian aerospace technology and modern space science, modern interpretations, noise reduction in propulsion system, the mention of the chariot braying noisily, Sacha mayo divyaha kara yukta karasvanaha, aligns with the ongoing challenges in aerospace engineering. A study by Johnson at NASA's Glenn Research Center highlights advancement in noise reduction for next generation aircraft engines, drawing parallels to the ancient text's awareness of propulsion system acoustics. Technological interpretations, nanomaterials and smart alloys. The mention of golden parts, Jala Vatayaneryuktam Kanchanaihi Spadikairapi, might allude to advanced materials with unique properties. Modern research into gold nanoparticles and smart alloys has revealed materials with extraordinary strength, conductivity, and adaptive properties, potentially echoing the advanced materials described in Ramayana. Technological interpretations, advanced brain-computer interfaces, the description of Vimana moving by thoughts of concentrated mind, Manasamadana Vicharacharinam. The Vimana was under the control of Rama. Parallels current research in brain-computer interfaces, recent advancements in non-invasive and thought-controlled artificial devices suggest a future where direct mental control of machines might be possible. Modular space vehicle design. Modern spacecraft are often built in parts. The International Space Station is made of connected modules. Companies like SpaceX also use modular designs. This is similar to modular ideas described in VＡLMÍKI RAMAYANA. Implications for future technology. The Vimana technology described in VALMÍKI RAMAYANA suggests capabilities that surpass even our most advanced AI systems. With current AI excels in pattern recognition and decision making, the seamless integration of consciousness and machine described in the ancient text points towards a more advanced form of artificial general intelligence or even artificial super intelligence. Quantum consciousness interfaces. Scientists like Stuart Hameroff and Roger Penrose have suggested that human consciousness may be linked to quantum processes. If this idea is true, it could help explain how mind-machine connections might work. This is similar to ideas in the Ramayana, where vehicles are described as responding to thought. However, this is it is theory and not yet to be. It is yet to be proven. Self-assembling nanotechnology. The Pushpaka Vimana in the Ramayana is described as flexible and able to adapt. This can be compared to the modern idea of self-assembling nanotechnology. Today, scientists at places like MIT Media Lab are studying materials that can change their shape and function when the environment changes. This shows that the modern science is exploring ideas that sound similar to those imagined in ancient stories. It is too early to say that the Vimanas in the Ramayana were real machines, but the similarities between those old descriptions and modern technology are interesting. They show that people long ago imagined ideas that science is exploring today. For example, mind-controlled technology is no longer just a myth. Recent brain implant trials by Neuralink, started by Elon Musk, show that such ideas are becoming possible. Hanuman's flight, an interesting analysis. I am coming to the main part of it. It has 8 divisions. If we have time, we will cover everything. Otherwise, we will leave Hanuman there. He will use his AI. What is it? Anjaneya intelligence, and he will reach. Okay, we will see how far we cover. There was a possibility of Hanuman having flown into outer space and then came down into Earth's atmosphere and later soft landed in Lanka. In Sundarakanda, VALMÍKI describes in a detailed manner of Hanuman's flight to Lanka, initially going to outer space and later returning to Earth. The 228 shlokas in the first sarga of Sundarakanda, which is mainly devoted to description of Hanuman's flight from Mahendragiri in India to Lamba Hills in Lanka, may be divided into 8 subheadings depending upon the 8 stages of Hanuman's flight. Pre-flight preparation, flight takeoff, a probable backthrust while takeoff, the effects of initial movements, forward thrust after takeoff, effects of the first stage low-level flight of Hanuman, encounter with the rising Mainaka Parvata and Hanuman's takeoff for the second stage into outer space, encounter with Surasa, friendly Naga Devi, by re-entering Earth's atmosphere and moving again to outer space, encounter with Simika and the effect of Chaya Akarshana Shakti, final phase of Hanuman's flight and landing in Lanka. In the following pages, these stages will be described. There is a view that Hanuman may have flown into outer space, then come back into Earth's atmosphere and later made a soft landing in Lanka as described in Ramayana. Verses 1 to 49 describes Hanuman's pre-flight preparations. Hanuman raised his head and neck like an ox among cows. The first stage rocket is being fixed in a straight and erect posture. Hanuman moved in Mahendragiri like a lion, creating fear to the birds uprooting trees. Dvijan Vitrasayan Padapan Urasaharan, testing and starting the engines of rocket before takeoff. Hanuman pressed both his front and back legs firmly on the hill for his flight. Bahubhyam Pidayamasa Charanabhyam cha Parvatam. The rocket is ready to take off. These descriptions are explained as similar to modern rocket engine being started for takeoff. Flight takeoff descriptions. Due to pressure exerted by Hanuman, the hill shook and the flowers from the trees flew. Sachanchalaschapi mugurtam kapipiditaha tarunam pushpitagram sarvam pushpam ashatayat. Due to that, the entire hill being covered by flowers looked like a heap of flowers. Tena padapa muktena pushpaugena sugandhina sarvatas samvritas shailo babau pushpamayo yatha. Due to the initial pressure of Hanuman, spurts of water came out of the mountainous spring like a mighty elephant. Pidyamanastu balina mahendrastena parvataga salilam samprasusrava madamatta iva dvipaha. Loose rocks and stones from the hill flew in all directions. Mumochachap shila shailo vishala samana shila. Due to removal of the loose top materials, the hill exposed fresh linear bodies of golden, black, silver colored veins of rocks, as well as vein of fresh rocks of red admixed with black and yellow colored oxidized ore bearing rocks. Tena cha uttama viryena pidyamanasas parvataha ritir nivartayamasa kanchananchana rajatihi. Hanuman made the necessary body adjustments for takeoff. Tasya langulamavidham ativegasya prishtataga dadrishe garudeneva kriyamano mahoragaha bahu samstambayamasa mahapariga sannibau sasada cha kapikadyam charanau sankucho cha. The first strong back thrust of the rocket at takeoff seemed to be described in great detail, especially how it affected the surrounding environment. The effects, I am coming to the third point. 5 more, let us see. The effects of initial movements, forward thrust after takeoff. Because Hanuman flew forward with great force, the trees on the hill shook strongly. Their branches bent upward and pointed to the sky as they were going up with him. Samutpatati tasminstu vegat te nagaro hinaha samhritya vidapan sarvan samutpetu samantataha. After initial pull, the flowers fell into the ocean, and the ocean looked like the sky covered with shining stars. Lagutveno papannam tad vichitram sagare patat dhrumanam vividam pushpam kapivayu samiritam. Hanuman, with some of the flowers still following him, looked like a huge cloud traversed with streaks of lightning. Pushpaugenanuppaddena nanavarnena vanaraga babau mega iva udhyanvai vidyut gana vibhushitaha. All the above similes were used by VALMÍKI to describe clearly the effects of the initial forward thrust of the rocket after takeoff on the surroundings, carrying all the loose materials for limited distance along with it. Effects of the first stage low-level flight of Hanuman. With the momentum gained after the initial takeoff, Hanuman flew over the ocean in a sub-horizontal manner as a low-level first stage flight. The force of Hanuman's flight pulled the clouds in the sky along with it. Prachakarsha mahamegam samupodhata vidyutam prabalakabirajasya vayur marge vinismrataha. The rising waves of the ocean and the clouds following Hanuman looked very similar. Samutpatita megasya samudhuta jalasya cha samamasit tadarupam sagarasyambarasya cha. Flying between the sea below and the clouds above, Hanuman looked as if he were drinking in both the ocean waves and the dark clouds. Pibanniva babau chapi sormimalam harnavam pipasuriva chakasham dadrishe samaha kapihi. Each one of Hanuman's body part looked differently to the onlooker. His eyes looked like forest fires on the hill. Tasya vidyut prabhakare vayumarganusarinaha nayane viprakashete parvatastau ivanalau also looked like the rising sun and the moon. Chakshushi samprakashete chandrasuryau ivoditau. His nose appeared like the pleasing red-colored rising or setting sun during Sandhya Kala. Mukam nasikaya tasya tamraya tamramababau sandhyaya samabhisprishtam yata suryasya mandalam. His back seemed like a brick red-colored hill. The appearance of the spacecraft in mid-flight is described by the appearance of Hanuman during the flight. The air released due to his flight sounded like thundering cloud. The ocean water was churned in places wherever he moved due to the combined force of the fast-moving clouds and the force of Hanuman's own flight. Kapivatascha balavan megavastas nisritaha sagaram bhima nirgosham kampaya masaturpisham. Flying between the huge rising waves of the ocean and the sky, he appeared to be a great divider of the two. The rising dark clouds from the ocean mixed together and looked like dark rain-filled clouds already in the sky. the effect of low-level sub-horizontal flight on the ocean as well as the low clouds in the sky are described in detail. Encounter with the rising Mainaka and Hanuman's takeoff for the second stage to outer space. VALMÍKI describes that Hanuman, on seeing the rising Mainaka Parvata from ocean, pushed it down with his chest like a mighty wind pushing a cloud in the sky. In the Ramayana, Hanuman hugs Mainaka and then jumps into the sky. He leaves the mountain and the ocean behind. He goes very high, reaching path of ancestors, and then rises even higher into clear and empty outer space. In this view, the verses are explained like second stage rocket starting for an upward flight into space. The strong back thrust from this rocket is imagined as pushing Mainaka down into the ocean as described in Ramayana. Hanuman moves into the outer space with great speed. Savai datta varashailo babuva vastidastada hanumancha muhurtena vyatichakramasagaram tato devassa gandharvaha siddhascha paramarshaya tam prayantam samudvikshya hyakashe marutatmajam abruvan surya sankasham surasam nagamataram. In the Ramayana, when Hanuman meets Surasa on his way to Lanka, she opens her huge mouth to stop him. Hanuman first becomes very big, then he suddenly becomes very small and light. He quickly goes into her mouth and comes out before she can close it. So he escapes safely without being crushed or falling. He moves with great speed like a Garuda and he reaches outer space. This refers to a special ability used by Hanuman in the Ramayana. He was able to reduce his size and weight when needed. Because of this, he could enter Earth's atmosphere and later go back into outer space. Such a technique is not known in modern space technology. VALMÍKI describes the outer space travel in detail with lots of similes. VALMÍKI states that Hanuman remained like a huge winged mountain in the rootless, forceless, supportless, gripless sky outer space. Pradrishyamanas sarvatra Hanuman marutatmajaga vejembaram niralambam lambapaksha ivadrirat. In these verses, some main aspects noticed during space flights are described by VALMÍKI. The outer space was filled with sun, moon and other planets as well as by star clusters. Vagatahavyamatyartam sevite chitrabanuna grahanakshatra chandarka tara gananishevite. Encounter with Simhika and the effect of Chaya Akarshana Shakti. VALMÍKI describes the encounter with Rakshasi Simhika and the effect of Chaya Akarshana Shakti on Hanuma flying in the outer space. Even though Hanuman is said to be flying in outer space by VALMÍKI, his speed was reduced and stopped by this Shakti of Simhika in this site in the ocean between India and Lanka, like a huge ship being affected by opposing winds. Samakshiptosmi sakasa pangukrita parakramaga pratilobena vadena mahanauhi vasagare. The case was compared to wild vortices described by Ivan Sanderson. He used this term by mysterious places like Bermuda Triangle where ships and airplanes were said to disappear as if pulled into vortex. But in those places, there are no reports of satellites in space being affected. In a similar way, it can be seen from VALMÍKI RAMAYANA that Hanuman was not sucked into the ocean by the Chaya Akarshana Shakti of Simika, but only his speed was affected. This proves that Valmiki's knowledge that Chaya Akarshana Shakti or wild vortices do not affect substantially any flying object in outer space, but only make them malfunction for the duration of flight over the site. Wild vortices are defined as places on our big blue planet that contain a great deal of naturally occurring anomalies, supposedly because in these vortex sites, the natural electromagnetic fields of the planet are far stronger than they are in other places. Valmiki reports that Hanuman reduced his size and weight and propelled himself into Chaya Akarshana Shakti of Simika, and after killing her came out of her mouth before it closed. In this verse, Valmiki used the terms, after that the one verse comes, in that she has used the term Vivrite Vaktre. It appeared the term that Vivritam means huge, wide open. But a better knowledgeable person in Sanskrit, Sri P.S. Krishnaswamy Iyer of Dharmalaya, Mylapore, uses the Tamil meaning of Kantam for the word Vivritam. It is very interesting and important fact that while Sanderson's Wild Vortex was published only in 1972 with an explanation of emanations of magnetic and electromagnetic impulses from interiors of earth, Sri Krishnaswamy's usage of the term Kantam was very much earlier to explain Chaya Akarshana Shakti in the ocean between India and Sri Lanka. If the word Vivritam has another meaning to indicate magnetic, then the actual knowledge of Valmiki in explaining his Chaya Akarshana Shakti to include the specific word Vivritam to this specific site is exemplary. Even it is not so, the greatness of knowledge of P.S. Krishnaswamy Iyer in explaining the Chaya Akarshana Shakti will stand out, being the first person to indicate the magnetic forces on the earth for such a phenomenon. Hanuman once again assumed huge form before flying. I think he is nearing Sri Lanka. Sakapipravaro vegad vavrite punaratmavan. The poet describes that Hanuman was viewing from the sky the island of Lanka with its hills and forests. Dadarshatcha patanneva vividadhrumabhushitam dvipam shakamrigashreshto malaya upavananicha. In the Ramayana, when Hanuman reached Lanka, he carefully looked at the island's coast, tidal flats along the shore, lagoons and backwaters, marshes and swamps, forests growing near the coast, rivers flowing down from the hills into the sea. The description shows that Lanka was rich, green and surrounded by many natural water features. It also shows that Hanuman was observing everything closely. Sagaram sagaranupam sagaranupajaan dhruman sagarasya cha patninam mukhanyapi vilokayan. These verses would mean that Hanuman's flight was once again was a low level one with very much reduced speed, so that he could observe Lanka very clearly and in detail before landing. Hanuman once again reduced his size to his original normal size and soft landed safely in Lambam Hill. Tatastu samprapya samudradhiram samikshya lankam girivaryamurdini kapistu tasmin nipapata parvate viduya rupam vyatayan mrigadvijan. While seeking evidences for prior knowledge of space technology and space flights in Ramayana times, we could very easily analyze and interpret them as descriptions of actual stages of space flight. When such an interpretation is accepted, it will be seen that the ancient Indians had more advanced knowledge of it will be seen that the ancient Indian had more advanced knowledge of space technology, in that they could go not only to outer space by multi-stage rockets, but also re-enter Earth's atmosphere and again go to outer space and then again enter Earth's atmosphere, as well as soft landing on Earth's land surface instead of landing in ocean water. To conclude, while the descriptions of Vimanas in VALMīKI RAMAYANA are often considered mythological, they provide intriguing parallels to cutting-edge concepts in modern space science and technology. As our understanding of quantum mechanics, material science and consciousness evolves, we may find that these ancient narratives contain insights that were far ahead of their time. The study of such texts, combined with rigorous scientific inquiry, may open new avenues for technological innovation and space exploration. Thank you for giving me the opportunity. Next lecture la.
Dr. K. Srinivasan, President of the Sanskrit Academy, for a few words and vote of thanks.
ஸோ என்னுடைய டிக்ஷனரியில் குவாண்டம் மெக்கானிக்ஸ் குவாண்டம் ஃபிசிக்ஸ் அப்படிங்கிற வார்த்தை எல்லாமே எதுவும் இல்லை. அதனால் நான் அதை பற்றி ரொம்ப சொல்கிறதுக்கு எதுவும் இல்லை. பட் ஒரு சின்ன விஷயம், கேஎஸ்பி டைரக்டர் என்ன இன்ட்ரடியூஸ் பண்ணாரோ டாக்டர் முத்துலக்ஷ்மியை, ஐ திங்க் ஷி ஹஸ் ஃபுல்லி ஜஸ்டிஃபைட் இட்னு நினைக்கிறேன். அண்ட் இட் இஸ் நாட் ஓன்லி சிம்ப்ளி விமானாஸ், பட் ஷி ஹஸ் கம்ப்ளீட்லி கலெக்டட் all the informations, quotations, etc. which are available regarding the Vimanas, and not only that, the side effects of that. இதில் தத்துவ மகேந்திரஹா அப்படின்னு இதில் ஆரம்பிப்பார். சுந்தரகாண்டம் போஜசம்பூல் ஆரம்பிக்கும்போது அதாவது அவர் ப்ரெஸ் பண்ணும்போது எப்படிலாம் இருக்கும் அப்படின்ட்டு அந்த ப்ரோஸ் பேசேஜ் டீட்டெயில்டாக டிஸ்கிரிப்ஷன் கொடுக்கும். அந்த மாதிரி ஃபுல்லாக அந்த சைடு எஃபெக்ட்ஸ் அந்த இதெல்லாம் இருக்கு பாருங்க, எல்லா விதமான இன்ஃபர்மேஷனையும் கலெக்ட் பண்ணி she has collected every information and presented them together. That's a very fine, nice topic. not only a nice topic chosen, but it is nicely presented as well. And I think it should be to the heart's content of Dr. Sri Madhavan. And I thank very much Dr. Muthulakshmi for presenting such a beautiful, nice lecture. And I also thank the endowment makers. All of them are known for their what is called interest in VＡLMީKI RAMAYANA. Right Honorable Srinivasa Sastri, who has given the lectures on Ramayana, nearly some lectures here in this garden, and Satyamurthy, who also, the great freedom fighter, who also is very much known for his Ramayana studies, and B. Madhavan, as has been said by him. And whenever there is any doubt in VALMީKI RAMAYANA, we used to go to him. But as he said, I am truly away from all these things, so I can't speak much about all these things. I thank the endowment makers. I thank you. I now request Dr. Sita Sundaraman to present the memento to the speaker. Thank you. There will be one more lecture. The date and timings, etc., will be announced later. The topic will be given later. Thank you.